wow.
Okay, probably don't record this.
Okay, hold on.
I had the feeling that everything under this bumper is already gone. It's rusted out. I assure you right now, I'm gonna pull this off. And we're gonna see that disaster under.
Ooh. So this rear reinforcement bar has got to go because all of this, and
Scratchy.
good thing I got a tetanus shot recently, and that it's
What
very
is that?
bad. Tetanus shot?
I know what it's that, obviously. Yeah.
You didn't get a tetanus shot, Jerry?
No, like in centuries.
Oh my god. So yeah, we have to find this part and replace it and get Jerry a tetanus shot.
I don't need that shit.
Alright, so it's Sunday morning and I just finished washing all three of my cars, so the WRX, the EP3, and the Del Slow. The Del Sol back reinforcement bar and the bumper beam came in, so I need to scuff those and then go ahead and use the rust encapsulator in order to prevent those from rusting further. So if I look like a hot mess, it's because it's like 90 degrees outside and I've been out here for probably like 2.5 hours, so you know. Not really going for perfection here, just covering the floor a little bit in case I make a huge mess. So that's the bumper beam right there. It's got some rust on it, not too much, just like on the edges and stuff. I'll just include a close-up here so that you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is use a scuff pad and just scuff it up so that I can apply the rust encapsulator. These are the scuff pads that I'm using. I just cut a smaller piece here so that it's easier to use. And I got this from my local auto body shop, like auto body supply shop. Okay, so I got it all scuffed up and now I'm gonna go ahead and degrease and wipe it down. Okay, so what I'm gonna use to do this is I'm gonna use this isopropyl and just a microfiber towel. Okay, I got it all cleaned up, so I'm gonna let it dry out in the sun and bring the rear reinforcement bar inside. It's probably gonna be hot as hell. It's been sitting in the sun, so let's see if I have fingerprints when I come back here or not. Probably not. Oh my God, that's hot. Okay, that was hot as hell. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff this one up and then also degrease it. So while I'm scuffing up the rear reinforcement bar, I'm gonna go ahead and leave these two. This one's not as full as this one. I just bought a whole case of this, so I'm gonna leave these out in the sun for a little bit so that they can get nice and warmed up, and then I'll shake them for a minute before I apply it. Okay, so the green Samba rear reinforcement bar is about to become a black Eastwood rust encapsulator rear reinforcement bar. I think I'm gonna hit it with some white also, just, I don't know. The front one's white, just so that if anybody, I mean, I'm probably never getting rid of this car, but just in case I do, they're not like, what happened here, you know? And also, I don't know, I wanna test out that turbo can before I spray the entire car with that, so. All right, let's get this out in the sun, and it looks like the beam is ready, so let me go ahead and spray the back bumper beam, and I'm gonna let this air dry out in the driveway in the sun for a little bit. I've got all my car washing equipment drying out in the sun here before I put it away back in the garage. And here it is, just out on a bucket, chilling in the sun. I'm gonna probably like flip it onto the front in a second. I just wanna get that side dry. All right, back over here in bumper beam land. We've got this guy nice and dry, scuffed, cleaned, ready to go. So these two cans have been chilling here for a little bit. They're nice and warm. I'm gonna go ahead and put my respirator on and spray this thing. And just so you can see, you know, I don't want this thing rotting out again. And the other one like literally fell apart when we took the bumper off, so yeah, I want this to last a really long time. It is hot in that respirator. Anyway, that's coat number 1. I'm gonna let it dry and then put another coat on it, and then I'll flip it over. I'm gonna get the sides as well. The sun is like, as I get older, my eyes are getting lighter, and the sun is, I'm a little sensitive to it lately. Anyway, but my eyes look cool. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. All right, that dried really fast. It looks really, really good. This stuff is amazing. Eastwood Rust Encapsulator. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. All right, had a little bit of splatters there because the can is getting low. But look at that. Let's look at the sides here. Not bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over so that we can get the rest. Hang on. There we go. So that we can get the rest of all of this stuff nice and painted. And I'm gonna let it dry and work on the rear reinforcement bar. Thank you for your service. All right. Round 2. Brand new can. Ooh, very nice. All right, I'm gonna bring this into the garage so that it can cool off and go get the rear reinforcement bar to paint next. That kind of hurted. Anyway, there it is, just chilling. I'm gonna leave it right there because I don't want to burn my hand anymore. Let's go get this guy. I've rotated it a couple of times just to make sure that all the alcohol had dried up. That stuff is like, it pretty much evaporates shortly after you use it, but just to be sure. And here's a close-up of the before. This thing is in fairly good condition. You know, it's got a little here and there, some stuff, but here is where I was mostly concerned because that's where your support and everything is, and mine's rotted completely out. So, and that one looks really good as well. And I've shown you the inside a bunch of times, so. All right, let's paint this. Here's coat 1 drying in the sun. I'm gonna get those tab things once I can see them better. All right, so what we're gonna do now is flip this over so I can get underneath and all the inside here. Look at that nasty. There we go.